Coach. Good start to the year, but last night I think we kind of expected to tussle a little bit. Let's start there out of Western Nebraska Cougars. And team averages 100 points. They don't do it by accident. You guys really came in here and from what I saw, shot the basketball very, very well, and they didn't shoot so well, and you kind of ran them out last night.
Yeah, we got off to a really good start. I thought we had a pretty good game plan against them. They really are dependent upon their guards to score, and we had watched a couple of tapes on, and kind of discovered a couple of things that we thought that might help us, and hey, we hit on something. It really did, and then I think they got frustrated on the offensive end, and they didn't. They weren't able to really sustain much on the other as well. One kind of goes in hand with the other sometimes, and they fell behind early, and then it was basically academic after that.
You got a couple of games before this, of course, and 3-0 now, but you got a little bit of a tussle right out of the gate this year. It's nice to at least get something non-conference early in the season where you get tested right out of the gate.
Yeah, we need to play some good teams because our league is going to be as tough probably as it's ever been. Ranger offered some resistance that night. I mean, they led us up the first half for 47 points, which is pretty disappointing to us, I think. But the second half we got a lot more aggressive and shot the ball a little bit better, but went and got some offensive rebounds and finished and what have you. Our size causes trouble for a lot of people. And the second half it kind of took over versus Rangers. Then we played Monterey Tech the next day, and they were just, they had no chance whatsoever. And I think they were a fill-in team. Odessa had a difficult time getting a fourth team in their classic. So there was nothing that you could take out of that. I don't think, positive or negative. So that's what why I was a little cautious about the Western Nebraska game, because I really didn't know where we were at this point. So this weekend we have two tough teams. We got North Lake coming in here. I think we play them on Saturday, I believe. We play Northeastern Colorado, another traditionally tough team out of that region up there that is usually playing for the region championship or have earned it. So they've been to Hutch several times themselves. So it should be two good tests for us.
Got to be nice to get a couple games on your home floor. It's been tough scheduling. Unless you're scheduling inside of your own conference, there's just not a lot of other teams around. It's got to be nice to get people to come down to the Dome and play on your home carpet.
Well, and what we have to do is, and I don't mind doing this. I mean, I'll play anybody that will come here. I'm not going to go to their place and them not return the favor, so to speak. So. Western Nebraska next year, unless something changes, we'll be busing up to Scottsbluff, Nebraska to return the game, and quite possibly we're doing the same thing with Northeastern Colorado. So I would rather play those kind of people home and away than play these JV teams in the area. That gives you absolutely no challenge whatsoever, and it's not good for anybody. So
quite frankly, as you mentioned in this conference, you've got to get out and get some games.
Yeah.
We talked about the 3 Division I signees at Texan Club, and there's going to be many, many more coming out of this conference. You got to get out and play some basketball to be ready by January.
Exactly. Because when we get into the league, we're going to be playing against the best junior college players and teams and coaches, I think, in junior college basketball. So, you go try to find as many tough opponents as you possibly can within reason. And like I say, if they'll come here, we'll go there, type deal, and see where it takes you.
Let's talk a little bit about Yannick Marrero. We knew the guy could block shots. We knew he could rebound. Seems like his offensive game has come around considerably coming into this year. Had another good night last night, limited playing time.
Yeah, he's become a lot more aggressive on the offensive end. We're trying to get him to shoot more when he's open instead of putting the ball on the floor and what have you, and trying to make him a lot more efficient player. He's gotten stronger, and I think he has more confidence around the basket than he has. He didn't hit the two or three attempts that he put up last night, on the three, but he's a good 3-point shooter too. I mean, he's really worked hard on his offensive game, and he was here all summer. And so we, had a chance to work with him a little bit, and what have you. So he's becoming more of a complete player. The thing I like about him the best is he talks defensively, and he's coaching his teammates, and he's got them listening, and it's kind of contagious right now. So I mean, he's made some giant strides for us.
And quite frankly, could be one of those guys who could be a very vocal leader on the court. You look and see that guy that size who's already got a national title, who's touted as one of the best players in NJCAA right now. He's certainly a guy that could lead this team.
Yeah, and he's doing that. And when he does, when quote unquote your best player is your best person, you got a chance to be really, really good. You know, and as long as he's acting that way and conducting himself, you know, as a leader and what have you, then we're going to be good. So, or at least that's been my experience, you know. Devontae has done a really good job as well, and the two of those guys are kind of taking these other guys, you know, by the ears, by the neck, whatever, you know, and trying to lead them, you know, down the right way. So, at this point, you know, pretty pleased, all in all, but. You know, we played 3 games, and we got a whole bunch more, I think.
I think Joe was telling me like 20-some to go yet.
I think so.
26. We got 26 to go? Yeah. We got a little ways between now and March.
Yeah, we do.
Let's talk a little bit about the freshman group coming in. You bring back some good sophomores. But you saw a freshman Legion scoring last night, and although, you know, it's one of those games where guys get a lot of playing time, so I like you shot the basketball pretty well.
Yeah, we did, and that's going to be kind of a hit and miss thing with us. I mean, people that saw us play last year. I mean, we're not gonna shoot like we did last year, but neither is anybody else. I mean, we had an unbelievable shooting team last year. We didn't obviously Marshall, but then we had 2 or 3 others. We had Deshaun Walker, we had Darrell Edwards, and we had Malcolm Miller. And I mean, we had a lot of guys that could make baskets last year. But this year, it's a little bit different, and they've got to find when they can shoot the ball and whatever. I was pretty pleased last night. We are an inside-out team this year. Last year, it wasn't quite that way. It was more the other way. But this year, if these guys, if they'll wait and be patient, let the ball touch a 4-man or a 5-man's hands before it goes up, they're going to find they're going to be shooting what I call horse shots, you know. And instead of having to go create for themselves, it's going to be created as a result of people having to be concerned about, you know, our inside people. So
that's kind of a different wrinkle for you, the inside out. You know, last 2 years ago, you played, quite frankly, without an honest, true center underneath the basket. Having Morera there to anchor this thing kind of changes the whole skew.
And that's where him becoming more of an offensive threat around the basket really helps the guys on the outside. Hey, but we got some other ones. I was really pleased with Michael Carino last night. You know, he's a big old dude running down the floor, and he commands a lot of attention and kind of creates a vacuum. And we get the ball to him right there at the block. I mean, he's difficult to stop. Plus, he's a really, really good free throw shooter. I think he went 6 for 6 maybe last night, and you know, that's kind of rare for a big guy like that. So our guards, if they can just learn to play off our big guys, you know, Rod Lawrence hit some shots last night that he can shoot if he'll shoot good ones, you know. So, you know, it's kind of blending them together, and we'll see what happens.
You mentioned a couple of good ones coming to town over the weekend, one in Colorado. You'll start there with those guys on Friday. But as we said, it's nice to have it on your own floor, even if you had to trade a home and away. It's good to have quality teams coming to the Dome, and you get 2 games in 2 days. That's an even better thing, I would think.
That's right. Yeah, you always like playing at home. But and like I said earlier, Northeastern Colorado is good. They got a good team coming in. North Lake has just returned from going to Tyler and beating them at Tyler. So, you know, I think they'll be a good opponent for us as well.
All right, Coach, save us out of time for this one. Final thoughts for us today before we let you go and visit next week.
Just looking forward to this weekend and see how we bounce back from. You know, we're going to have to get the guys' attention. I mean, I don't think anybody expected what happened last night to happen. I mean, to beat a team by 55 points, that's, you know, I mean, most of the time a nationally ranked team is quite an accomplishment. So, I guess it remains to be seen how good they will be over the course of the season, but at this point, you know, we beat what we think is a good team. Now we have to get their attention again and try to get ready for this weekend.
All right, Coach. Appreciate your time as always. Thanks for dropping by, and we'll see you next week.